Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I have a very special guest. His name is Ambus Hunter and he's from Gamfin. Today we're going to be talking about gambling addiction, but through the lens of the financial problems that come along with it. Ambus, so happy to have you. Thanks for joining.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so why don't we start? I want to find out more about you and why you do the work that you do. Do you have a personal connection to problem gambling?
I do. So, a little bit about me. I am an accredited financial counselor with the Association of Financial Counseling and Planning Education. And I love money, always have loved money, always enjoyed helping people with money. But things really connected for me when I actually experienced some harms from gambling. I guess now at this point, it's been about 13 years ago. So, it was 2011. I was 25 at the time. I was just consumed with roulette. I loved roulette. I loved everything about roulette. And that particular spring and summer, I was all in, playing quite a bit at various casinos. This is before really the rise of a lot of mobile gambling and such. So I'm physically going to multiple casinos in Vegas. I'm going on business trips to Philly because there's a couple casinos there as well. I'm driving down to Indiana, and I should mention that at the time I was living in Ohio. So I'm doing all this gambling. I'm winning quite a bit, and I end up just hitting a wall where the losses slowly piling up, and it will end up being a pretty harsh fall of 2011. I ended up burning through the savings that I had at the time. So at that point, knew I had to stop what I was doing. I knew I couldn't continue doing that and reaching the type of goals and the type of vision that I had for myself. So it was tough, but I committed to stopping gambling, and I put myself on a strict spending plan, i.e., a budget, and cutting out a lot of dining out, cutting out much entertainment. I was reducing my cell phone plan, I was reducing my internet plan, just about anything that I could do to save as much as possible. And then on top of that, I took on a couple of part-time jobs in addition to the full-time job I was working. So I'm working 3 jobs to, at the time, just get back what I had lost. I had some missteps, I had some lapses along the way, but about 10 months after when I committed to the plan, I not only saved the $10,000 that I had lost, but I actually saved $20,000. So I felt the power of holding myself accountable, felt the power of being intentional with getting to a different place in my financial wellness and well-being. And at the end of the day, it was consistency that helped me to really get there. So from that point, I was off to the races. I continued to be extremely mindful with my money and mindful in the way I behaved with money. 4 years after my struggles with gambling, I had about $200,000 in savings and investments. And that really just set me off on a great path. So many years later, I ended up deciding that I wanted to help other people with their financial recovery journeys as well. Became a certified financial counselor and linked up with Gamfin. And here I am.
Ambus, that's a really awesome story, and I love the theme of wanting to help other people that were in the same situation that you used to be in. I think what really stands out about your story is that you went from being in debt and thinking likely that gambling was the solution to it to turning it all around and building up slowly, but not that slowly, to a very significant amount in just 4 years after you quit. Is that something that you think that anyone could do?
So, what I do think is possible is to be extremely intentional with whatever it is that you want to do. I think it is possible to get crystal clear on where you're trying to go, become crystal clear on where you are today, and then figure out the intentional steps that you need to take in order to get there, keeping in mind that your story, your path, your journey is going to look extremely different than from what I've done, from what anybody has done, whether it was recovering financially from problem gambling or doing anything else, really. We all are on different paths. So, what I do think is possible is to get clear on what you want. I do think it is very possible to get clear on what it will take to get you to achieve what you want. The path in between, the journey in between is going to look different. So, the path that I took is not necessarily going to be replicated, nor should it be replicated. Some people are going to be faster, some people are going to be slower. That actually doesn't even matter at all. Are you being intentional? Are you being extremely clear and intentional with what it is that you want to do and getting the clarity needed to get you there? That is what's repeatable. And those are the themes that I really try to help people to lock into.
So, What is Gamfin? What do you guys stand for, and like what's the mission that you're trying to accomplish?
Gamfin. So Gamfin is gambling and finances, which is a online community that we created to help problem gambling treatment professionals learn more about money, learn how to support their clients learn about money, and ultimately we're all committed here to helping those that are experiencing harms from gambling. So we work with treatment providers, we work directly with those experiencing harms from gambling. Me as a financial counselor and me and the other financial counselors with Gamfin, we are meeting one-on-one with individuals experiencing harms from gambling, and we can also meet with problem gambling specialists as well and other related professionals in the field as well. And we're committed to this mission to helping people learn and understand how they can create their own path towards their financial recovery.
And the best part is that you can meet with a financial counselor through Gamfin at no cost to you, as we are funded by various state governments. So you can meet with a Gamfin financial counselor at no cost, and together we can help you to craft your financial recovery journey.
Ambus and I put together a role play where I acted like myself just 4 years ago, a 21-year-old student about to graduate from college with no money who thinks gambling is the only way out of a bad financial situation. Here's what Ambus had to say when I brought that to his attention. Hey, Ambus.
How you doing?
Hey, my name's Rob. Thanks for taking my call. It's our first session. I want to tell you a little bit about myself because I'm in a really bad situation and I don't know what to do. I'm 21. I'm about to graduate from college, but I have no job. I've put myself into significant debt because I really think that I can win sports betting. I feel like I have some skill, there's some technique to it, I have some talent. I know a lot about the game, so I want to keep gambling on it. I want to win. But right now, I'm in a really bad situation. I don't have enough money to pay my bills. I really needed to talk to you because I know you're a financial counselor. How can you help me, man?
Well, first off, kudos for being here today because I know this is a tough situation, frustrating situation, stressful. As you mentioned, you've been going through some things. Financially, you have some concerns about the future and concerns about how you're going to get where it is that you want to go in your money. And I'm glad you're here today so we can actually talk about this. What I would hate to see happen, right, is that we head down the path that we were before. So it's super crucial that we talk through where you're at today, talk through the concerns that you have today, talk about the details of your financial situation, where you're at in this moment. Let's get clear on where it is that you want to go. And then together, let's figure out how you can get there. So I want us to together craft a plan that's going to be sustainable for you and get you where it
Mhm.
is that you're trying to go.
Okay. Well, basically, right now, I think I have about 6 months worth of debt if I took all of my part time job's salary and put it into debt repayment. But I just can't see a way of paying this debt down that makes any sense. I mean, I have to wait 6 months before I feel better. What do I do to start?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense as far as you're looking at the income I got right now, maybe how long it can take conservatively to get you there. And like you said, do I have to go do this for this sacrifice for the 6 months to get where I want to go? As far as where you start, this is where you started, right? This is part of the starting. This is part of the starting, taking accountability, coming to someone here that's going to be able to help you and work with you. When we start working together, we're going to talk through your assets, like what are the things that you own. We're going to talk through the liabilities as far as the debts and who you owe. We're going to talk through the details of your employment situation as far as how much you make, how often you're working. Let's get some numbers down on the paper. Then we're going to talk through your expenses, your current expenses, and then future expenses that you're going to have in the future. That is part of the starting process, getting very, very clear on where you are today, so then we can figure out that path on how you get where you want to go. It always starts with being willing to raise the hand, make a call, send an email, hey, I want to talk through this, and then we're going to get extremely clear.
Totally. I mean, I definitely need the help right now. I'm lying to other people about how bad of my situation actually is. My parents don't know. My friends are moving into places they're able to afford rent, and I'm just stressed out. I feel like I have to go and place a bet. Can I actually do this? Like, don't lie to me here. Can I actually do this without gambling? Because it doesn't feel like I can.
And that concern makes a lot of sense. It is possible to get through this without gambling. I had the same questions when I was going through what I was experiencing years ago with playing roulette, and having
You were
those moments
you
of
were
doubt.
addicted to roulette?
I was addicted to roulette. I loved roulette. Had a lot of fun playing roulette. Won a lot of money playing roulette. Lost a lot of money playing
Wow.
roulette. And during my own recovery journey, I had multiple questions of doubting if
Hmm.
this is possible, doubting if this is the route that I should take, doubting if I really want to put in the time that's going to be required because it's hard,
Hmm.
right? So I totally hear you and understand how that feels to be questioning if that's the route that is really worth taking. One thing that I want to share though is getting to the other side. Once you get to the other side of that storm and being able to look back on what you've been through, what you've accomplished, the consistency that you put into place, how intentional you became at sticking to the plan and working that plan one day at a time. There's, first of all, there's nothing like that feeling, but also it will reinforce and continue to reinforce to you that you can accomplish hard things, that you can go through the hard path instead of
Hmm.
what may feel like the easier path, which is through gambling, but is actually the way more riskier path that comes with so many consequences. We don't want to dig that hole even more.
You're totally right. And you know what? When I scheduled this call, I had no idea that I'd talk to someone that actually knew about gambling problems. I thought you'd just be like a guy from a bank. So it makes me feel really good to hear that you understand what I'm going through because no one else in my life seems to understand it at all.
We all, as financial counselors, bring different experiences to the table. But one thing that we all share is that we're not here to sell you anything. We're here to work together on a path towards clarity in
Mm.
a way that is sustainable for you, a way that makes sense for you, a way that is in alignment to your values,
Mm.
and ultimately a way that's going to get you where you want to go, so you can feel better and you can feel like you've accomplished one of the most transformational things in your life and challenges in your life, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
Man, that's awesome. I'm gonna figure out what my rent's gonna be, what my income is, how many hours I have access to working, my credit card debt, who I owe money to. But I'll come back to you with all that next week. This was uh, this was really nice. Thank you. If you found this video informative or you're interested in learning more about the services that Gamfin has to offer, go and check the link in the description of this video. Ambus, once again, thank you so much for being here. And to everyone that's watching, let's just keep getting better together, one day at a time.